Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Daily Bern. We're going to start in just a minute. Hey Royce, hey Nissa, hey Karen. Welcome to the show. This is the Daily Bern, and we'll start in just a minute. I'm going to share it a little bit. You share it too. Uh, we've been getting a lot of shares, but something I noticed that, I've been paying attention. We don't get a whole lot of likes. Smash those like buttons. See what Royce is doing right now? That increases our favoritism in the algorithm. We can trick the computer a little bit. Yes, they throttle me. Yes, they hold back the show. Yes, they try to keep this message from getting out. Yes, they're trying to stop us. But every weapon can be used for good as well. So the media is a weapon. This is all being used against us, but we can fight back. One of the ways is understanding their algorithm, smashing the like buttons, commenting, participating in the show. Please talk. Please take part. I will run on and on at the mouth because I'm not trying to have any dead air, but I want you to talk. I want to read your comments. I want this to be a back and forth. This is supposed to be like an ongoing discussion. That's what I envision anyway. So come on in, and I'm going to check and see. We're doing a watch party. We're doing a special thing with Bernier Vest this week. And we'll get into that more during the burn. But come on in and share and like and all that. And remember to do that. If you're here later on, remember to do that still. Sharing is caring, and liking helps us do better in the algorithm, get out to more viewers. So if you like this, hit the like button. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for stopping by. Looks like the watch party's not up yet, but they'll join us here in a little bit, and we'll get into it. Hey, Ginger. Good to see you. But welcome back. This is the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. This is a daily motivational show that we do each day, Monday through Friday, for all of us that are out there fighting in this political revolution in order to transform our government into one that works for the people. So please share this out. We have to be the media. That's what the idea behind this show is to be the media. This is a independent grassroots motivational show that I made for all of us that are out there fighting every day in this political revolution in order to move our country and our society forward towards real progress and real change. We're trying to do massive things here, and they're very possible. Yes, we're trying to do big things. We're trying to make massive change happen. But this change that we're trying to make happen is very realistic. This is how it happens. What we're doing right now is how this change takes place. We're going to make this happen. This is our time. We don't have to wait. There is no more waiting. The waiting is done. That's what this show is about. This show is about not only that this has to happen, but that this is happening. Because the media is the last thing that's going to focus on that. They will never point the cameras at what is really happening here. They don't want anybody to know what's happening here. They're going to do their best to stop anybody from knowing. That's their job. That's something we fight against every day, and just a sad reality of the situation. But that's the way things are, and we need to accept that. Sorry, that was a little low. We need to accept that and own it and realize that this is a fight. We've been in a fight for a long time. I almost made the theme of tonight's burn about how our country was taken over 56 years ago. This is the anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Now, Kennedy tried to take this on from the top down. He saw what was happening. He was pleading with the journalists to do their job and be that fourth wall and hold the powerful accountable and stop what was happening. And he tried to stop what was happening. But He ended up being killed for that. And that's when they really, really took, I think that's when the coup was complete. They took ownership of our government in that instant, the executive branch. They had pieces of it all along, but I don't think we've had a real president since. You know, we have a shot at one now. We can make this happen. But Bernie can't save us. We need to know that, understand that, and own that fully. Bernie cannot save us. And he never claimed to be able to. And for anybody that is still holding on to any anger over 2016 and still feels like maybe Bernie should have did more or Bernie didn't do the right thing or whatever you think, what Bernie did put us in this position, the position of being the front runners of winning. We have the most well-known politician in the country now with the most popular ideas, these things everyone wants but the establishment powers that be. And they're going to do all they can to try and convince us that we can't have them, because that's the only way we can't have them, is if they convince us to stop fighting. And they convince us to sit down and go back to sleep and lay down and let them run things. Let them have their way. If we do that, we are done for. We have to do this. This is happening right now. That's the good news. The good news is it's happening right now. So be a part of it. But if you're mad, you need to get over that. You need to look past it and realize that no matter what your opinion is of what he did, we are in a fantastic position right now. And because of that failure, I'm still hurt. I don't want you to stop being upset. Never lose your sense of outrage. But don't let it make you stop fighting. Don't let it take you out of the fight. You see what I mean? We're winning right now. We're dominating. It's not even close. The reality of the situation versus what's being shown to the average person is dramatically different, and we know that. We understand that. Those that would watch this show and would sit through this for this long understand that. We're in this fight 100%. But we need people that don't understand it to understand it. Not all of them, but we need enough of them. We need people to wake up. We need people to realize what is happening in this world and in this country. People are oblivious. The average person, anyway, is oblivious to what is happening and how bad things really are. You know? And it's because there is a weaponized media, a weaponized propaganda machine masquerading as media. Steve says the feed crashed. It's still going on my phone. I noticed that it's acting weird. Like I'm getting told people are here over and over and over again. Like I've exited and came back in like 4 or 5 times, but yeah, it's been consistent on my end on my phone because I play it on my phone during. It hasn't stopped, but oh, I just froze. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know. Sorry about that. I'm not going to worry about it though, because it's going to break my stream of consciousness if I do. We just need to focus on this fight. We need to focus on what we're doing here, what we're trying to accomplish here, and own it. Own it 100%. Nothing will happen if we don't make it happen. If we don't do everything we can, none of this will take place. Ginger says it's good. Okay. and hopefully the audio at least stays consistent. I'm just going to push through. We'll get the new computer soon. It's coming. The final parts are coming in, and the guy's going to have it done in about a week or so. So things should get better coming up. But we need to take ownership. We need to own our future. Realize that it is ours. It is not someone else's. It does not belong to someone else. We don't have to let them control what happens to our reality. It is our future. We need to own it 100%. Take full responsibility for it, the good and the bad. Know that the bad only exists because we tolerate it and allow it to exist. If we would stop tolerating it and stop allowing it, we could put an end to it. Anything that we find intolerable, we find a way to stop. We find a way to eliminate. We're tolerating this stuff. We're looking away. We're pretending it's not happening. Maybe not us, but the average person. We need to start taking responsibility for them, though, because we need enough of them. We at least need enough of them to win this fight that we're in. We can't walk around acting like we don't need them at all. We need some of these people to wake up. There's a mass awakening happening, though. So the good news is we're part of what's going to go down in history as the time that our society corrected course. It absolutely has to. If you really look at it from the big picture scenario, or point of view rather, it's very clear that it has to. It has to correct. This greed will cripple everything, not just the planet. It'll cripple society. It'll cripple the economy. They don't care. They're going to destroy it all. They're on a collision course for destruction, because then they're going to cash out. They're playing a game with us like they're at a casino. They've already moved most of their chips off the board. These people that lord over us, they don't have a country. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about any of us. They see us as parasites. They think there's too many of us. This is up to us. We got to own this and realize that they are the few and we are the many, and we can have this. We can make this happen. We just have to decide that we own it. It's ours. And we will not be denied. Not coming to ask nicely. We're not coming to negotiate. We gotta take this. We're gonna have to overwhelm it with our numbers. Someone's telling me we're still having problems. I'm just gonna push through. We've got to overwhelm it. That's what's got to happen. We've got to, every time there's a chance to vote and a chance to flex, a chance to show our strength, we need to overwhelm them with our numbers. We have to take this. Look at how hard they're fighting us. Look at what they're doing. Pay attention to what they're doing and judge our performance on that. Look how hard they're lying. Look at the media attacks on Bernie and how he's left out of things completely. I was watching a bunch of different things to get information on the debates because I missed them. And the mainstream media stuff leaves Bernie out almost entirely. It's disgusting. There's a blackout on Bernie Sanders, and they're not trying to stop Bernie, they're trying to stop us. It's all about stopping us. We are winning. We are doing this. Ginger says she's not seeing any problems, so maybe it's you guys' phones. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. We're doing everything we can to fix any problems. But please stick with us and share. I'm going to keep going. But we have to live our passion and live our dream. We can have these things that we want. We just need to decide that we want them. For one, think about where you're at right now. What do we have to lose? Okay, where are we heading? things are heading in a bad direction. And at worst case scenario, the this all continues on if we lose. And we know that heads for disaster. So we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And all we need to do is wake up enough people to reach a tipping point. From what I've been told, it's 3%. 3% of the population, if we can get them to stand united, we can make real change. I don't know if that's mathematically true, but I know that if we overwhelm them with our numbers, we can take this down. I'm not saying vote our way out of a rigged election. I'm saying overwhelm that rigged election. And that brings us to our partnership with Bernie or Vest. We are partnered up this week with Bernie or Vest. Bernie or Vest is a Facebook group, but it's also a movement. It's also a commitment. So it's more than a Facebook group, and it's an idea that we need to commit to this fight 100% and own that it may get to the point where we need to physically be there. We need to be there in, I believe, Milwaukee for the convention. They intend to be there in yellow vests as a show of force. And then, if there's a repeat of what happens in 2016, to storm the convention and take to the streets, like what you're seeing in France, and around the world right now. You're seeing people rise up all over the world. Things are bad all over. Mostly in America, we're kept from how bad things are in the world. We're shielded from a lot of it, the worst of it, but the rug will be pulled out from under us. Things will get bad if we allow them to continue the way they're heading. So we're not going to do that, though. We're not, because we can't, and we're winning. So why would we even think about, well, we might lose? We might lose. But no fighter gets in the ring to fight thinking, I'm going to get knocked out. You got to think they're going to win. They train to win. They're prepared for this. We do all we can win this. You have to believe that. Ginger says they probably don't have enough data if they're using their phone. Maybe. And I've also noticed I use Boost, and I've noticed when I'm at the end of my service, or maybe I've used all the streaming that I'm allowed, but I don't do much. They throttle you. So it could be that. It's a lot of things. It's so many different things. Roy says we are Bernie's media. We need to own that. We got to do that. Be the media. Share things like this, independent shows and truth and anything like that. Share it. Get the truth out. Because the media, the mainstream media, is not going to. They're going to point the cameras away from us and try to misinform everybody that it's not even happening. That's their job. And there's nothing that can be done about that, sadly. But we have to fight back against that. We need to realize it's our job to inform and wake these people up and to get people to understand that we can have these things. We can do this. All we have to do is stay united and overwhelm their rigged system with our numbers. It can be taken down. Steve says, was it a coincidence that, I don't know how to say that name, but the madam in the Epstein story was in an In-N-Out burger. That was a message. Epstein was in, but now he's out. That fucker ain't dead. I just cussed Steve. Liz is going to be mad at me. You made me say the bad one. I didn't need to read it, but I do that all the time. I walk myself into that all the time. But I did make a vow to stop this anti-cussing rule. So I might slip up again, Liz. I'm sorry, but I have to be real. If I censor myself and I look for another word, I throw myself off. But what I was getting at was the belief thing and owning it. That's why I really like this partnership with Bernie Your Vest. And I'm kind of sad that it's Friday and it's over now. I'm still a member of the group. It's not like we're breaking up, but it's this is it's been a really neat sponsorship because our ideas are so married together, you know. And sometimes I don't think I do a good enough job of getting across that we have to own this 100%. This is up to us. People keep wanting to project it onto Bernie. Like, well, what if they screw Bernie over? What why don't we say it like this? What if they screw us over? What if they rob us? What if they rig it and take it away from us? They're not doing stuff to Bernie. You understand? They're doing it to us. If Bernie loses, we lose. You know? Ginger says, way to go, Steve. Yeah, yeah, you got me to drop the big one, the F bomb. But believe that we can have this. That's the most important thing. People want this stuff. Medicare for all, living wage, legalized cannabis, all this stuff. People want this stuff. They just are convinced to vote against their own best interests, convinced they can't have them, convinced that it's impossible. Steve says, should we go to the group and recommend your show? You should recommend my show to everyone. I don't know what group. I don't know what I said. But just believe that we can do this. Believe that we can make it happen. And then put in the work. We have to do the work. It's going to be a lot of hard work. And there's going to be nothing but no's all along the way. They're going to tell us we can't do this. They're going to tell us we're losing. They're going to do everything they can on 200 channels to convince everyone that this is not even happening. They're going to do that. That's going to happen. There's no getting around it. We have to fight back against it. We have to do all we can to make sure that it's not enough, that they fall short, that everything that they throw at us to try to stop us ends up not mattering, and that we wake enough people up. We're never going to get everybody to take their eyes off that lying little box in their living room, but if we wake enough people up, we can win. We can do this. This is our time. It is time to do this. It's time to move forward. It's time to take back our society. And we do all of that by taking ownership of the entire thing. Understanding that it is our job. Royce says Bernie is the only one with a career of fighting and standing up to injustice. We couldn't ask for a better candidate to support. We must overwhelm them at every caucus and primary. Back the man that's always had ours. That's a great way of saying it. That's very well put, Royce. Bernie has done a fantastic job over a very inspiring career. He's been very consistent. He's been fighting for the same things for decades. And he's going to keep doing that. I have faith in Bernie that he'll be consistent. He has been for decades, as I said. That's why I think it's so ridiculous when people say things like he's running a con on people or he's being a sheepdog. That logic makes no sense. That the man's running a 40-year con on the American people in order to get some donations for the DNC. That logic is ridiculous. Do you understand the lunacy of that logic? It makes no sense. Steve says, I think Tulsi is Bernie's attack dog. I absolutely agree with you. That's my theory as well. She kneecaps his opponents while Bernie's hands stay clean. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. I've seen that at the 3 debates she's been a part of. That's what I see every time. Tulsi's in on this. I'm telling you. And where they differ, I think it's strategic. I'm making that up off of what I'm seeing. but they have interconnected social media campaigns. They have a history of working together. Anyway, there's a lot there to validate my suspicions. But that is my theory that Tulsi is in on it with Bernie, running with Bernie, even though she's running against him. And I think when she talks at the debate, look at think about this. Look how confident she is. Look how confident Tulsi is when she's speaking about being president. Does she come off like somebody who's BSing you or somebody that knows that she will be president? I think that Tulsi will become president. I think that as much as I want Nina to be the VP, I think it's going to be Tulsi. I think when Tulsi drops out, when that happens, she will co-campaign with Bernie. She will join Bernie's campaign, and they'll run their campaign together. I think at that point, he'll announce her as his VP choice. That's what I think will happen. That's my prediction. But I also think this is going to come to a contested convention. I also think we are going to have to be there. I'm already saving to go to Milwaukee. And I hope it's Milwaukee. I often get things wrong and then doubt myself when I'm right. So I never know what's really going on. Sometimes I confuse myself because of it, but pretty sure, like 98.72% sure that it's Milwaukee. Anywhere it is, I'm saving up to go. It could be in, I don't know, someplace far away, and I would still go. Ginger said Tulsi is tough in an honest, straight up sort of way, is always using her opponent's policies and history against them. She's amazing at being the attack dog, and I really think that's her role. But I also think when she talks about being president, she knows for a fact she will be. Not now, but after Bernie. She'll be his VP and she'll be president after him. That's how I believe it's going to go. I think we've got this for the next 12 years. We have the potential to have control of the establishment branch of our government for that long, or the executive branch. Not that they can do anything without us. That's the other part of this. We don't get to stop fighting when they get elected. It ain't over then. That's the beginning. This is a nuclear strike. It's going to be very big electing Bernie president. That's going to be a big deal. It's going to get a lot done. It's going to accomplish a great deal. But it's not the end of our fight. We still got to stay committed to this and stay active and keep pushing and keep these people accountable, everybody, including Bernie, accountable, and make sure that these things happen. Make sure that they get done. And that's our job. That's what we have to do. That's what's going to make this happen. That's why this is going to happen. Because millions of us are already owning that this is our job. Go to BernieSanders.com. I include a link in the description of every Daily Bern to BernieSanders.com. Please go there. See if there's any way that you can volunteer. There's tons of ways to volunteer. Many things that you may not have even thought of. But Ginger said Tulsi would make a great Secretary of State. That's also something I've thought of her for, too. And you're right. She'd make a fantastic Secretary of State, probably the best we've ever had. But I think she'll be VP choice. I think that's what she's running for, is to be VP. That's just my theory. It's only my opinion. She'd be a fantastic Secretary of State, though. You're right. I would love to see Nina. Steve says Nina. I would love to see Nina be the VP. But and she'd be fantastic. Um, I don't know. Strategically, it makes sense to me, the scenario that I've worked out in my head. And I probably only love it because it's my scenario, but I believe in it. I would bet on it if I had money to bet. If I was a betting man and I had money to bet, I would bet on it. You know, I know somebody that's now a Trump supporter because they lost $1,000 bet on Bernie in the primary last year. or not last year, last primary, 2016, and they're mad at him because he didn't rant and rave and ruin his career about election reform and election fraud, which is exactly what that would have done to him. I wanted him to do that too in the moment. But when you think about it and you think about what he did since and what he did instead of that, and how beneficial that's been, and how much we're going to gain from that moving forward, and the momentum that he created by doing what he did do, whether you agree with it or not, that's put us in the place that we're in. And the place that we're in is on a clear path to victory. We can do this. So build yourself up. Know that. Know that we can do it, first off. Know that you can have these things. Decide that you want them. You want to have better. Then know that you can do it. Believe it to your core. Believe it in a way that's unshakable, where no one can convince you that it can't happen, where you know with every fiber of your being that it is possible and it can happen. And tell yourself yes, because you're going to hear no endlessly. Change your mindset and build yourself up. You've got to believe. Before anyone else will believe in you or believe in what you're doing, you have to believe in it. Belief is very powerful. Make yourself mentally strong. Feed the powerful thoughts, not the weak thoughts. You're going to have thoughts of quitting. You're going to have moments of weakness, moments where we're up against a lot. There's a lot of things weighing against us. So they're going to break you down. Life is going to get in your way. Whenever you're trying to accomplish something, life has a way of getting in your way. And there's much more than life up against us. We're up against the powers that be. They've had control and hold over this society for a long time. They don't want to give that up. That's the last thing that they want. They want to hold on to what they have. And I'm including these people that are bought off in our government that are supporting this system. These ultra rich predators have bought off our representatives. They bought our system and they used it against us to enrich themselves, and then they don't pay anything back into it. We're going to address those problems. That's how this stuff gets paid for. It's not free. You want to talk about what's free? These people freeloading off this country, like Jeff Bezos, enriching himself in a disgusting amount and paying nothing back into society, not contributing back at all. Ginger says, regardless of 2016, Bernie really should discuss election integrity and RCV. He should also co-sponsor Tulsi's election bill. I would expect to see more of that once he accomplishes his original goal. I don't think he wants to get in the way of things that would help him accomplish his original goal. And the only reason why I think that pushing for that right now would do that is because it would bring focus on, well, why are you pushing for that? Think about it. What's the follow-up question if you're the reporter? Is this have to do with 2016, Bernie? Do you feel that the election was rigged against you? Then he has to come into that, and then you have to make choices. Do I lie? Do I say that I don't think? Blah, blah, blah. Because even Elizabeth Warren has come out and said she knows that they rigged the primary for Hillary Clinton. So it puts him in a really weird spot, and he has to appeal to the mainstream voter. Like, I always try to keep that in my mind when I'm thinking about what Bernie's doing. Bernie and me have different jobs. Bernie's just my political candidate. So I don't agree with Bernie all the time. And sometimes I feel like Bernie has to play by different rules than me, and he's got to play to everyone. Whereas I can talk to just you guys, and talk to other activists and other people that are passionate. Bernie has to play to the entire room, and he knows he's got to wake them up. He's doing a really good job of it, but that's his purpose. That's what he's doing. Ray says, I'm here. Somehow I was watching your Wednesday show. That could happen. They look the same. You got to pay attention to the date. That's why I always put the date on it. So you got to look at the date. because each day the set kind of looks the same, and then I try to wear a different shirt for each episode so that you can tell the episodes apart by the t-shirts. But you know, how do you know what shirt I'm wearing today? You don't know what shirt I wore on Wednesday. But Ginger says, I agree, Steve. This impeachment has been timed perfectly. So 6 weeks of these candidates' time required them to be in SC. It's BS. Yeah, the impeachment thing is a smokescreen, and I think it's being used. Like Steve was saying, I missed his original comment. Oh, the establishment is shaking in their boots. They will try everything, and even this impeachment shift show is about stopping Bernie. I He said shift show, and I said that, but my mouth tried to say what he meant because autocorrect probably fixed that word for Steve. I don't think he meant to say shift show. He might have though. I did change one of my favorite words, or I tried to anyway, but it didn't catch on. And I blame everyone for that. I can't believe Fouquet never trended. I thought that was an amazing word. Ginger says Saeed needs to beat Pelosi. You have yourself a fabulous candidate, Steve. I need to do a candidate spotlight on that. Then I should look into that candidate more because Pelosi is garbage. And it's representatives like Nancy Pelosi or like a Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell. There's fantastic examples all over the place, unfortunately, on both sides of the aisle, with the D next to their name, just as well as there are with many examples with R's next to their name. Our government is bought off. But Ray says Congressman Schiff. What about Congressman Schiff? About the impeachment stuff? Man, I'm all for it. We want to impeach the guy, impeach him. Go for it. But I think we also need to remember that we are in a fight still. This is important. We're doing something real right here. And we don't need to look in 10 directions. They want to impeach him. They're going to move forward with that. I'm all for it. I'm team impeachment. Go impeach. Seriously, do it. But just I'm in a fight. I'm in a fight. We're doing something right now. And even if they impeach him, we still got to beat Mike Pence. That's all we get. That's our impeachment prize is Mike Pence. That's what shows up on our door. You know, Maybe he meant Schiff show, like Congressman Schiff is what Ray meant. But that's what shows up on our door is President Pence. We don't win anything. We still got to beat them. And not them. The whole establishment, the powers that be, those that lord over us, that have bought our government off and own everything. There's not that many of them. And their power over us is an illusion that they maintain with their diversionary tactics and their media and all of that and propaganda. And we rise above it. Most of us have. We help others rise above it. We join together. We unite and we stay strong and vigilant. Move forward united and put in the work. Keep moving forward. We will win. There's absolutely nothing that can be done to stop us. So I myself, I don't pay any attention to any of it that's going on anymore. To me, it's all pageantry, and I don't care. We don't even get to vote yet. We haven't even gotten to vote. We won't get to vote for months. When we get to vote, we had better overwhelm them every time. Every opportunity needs to look like a Bernie rally, to the point where the press has to cover it. Can't ignore it. And then they definitely won't be able to hide things anymore. It's not going to be so easy for them to mislead people once the voting starts. Not that they won't keep trying. That's not going to end. The lying from the media, that's not going anywhere. That's consistent. That's going to stick around. That's another thing that needs to be torn down to the ground and rebuilt from the ground up. Ginger says there's an impeachment going on and she didn't notice. Yeah, there's no way I'm trying to figure out how to best say this. The media is a weapon. Whenever they're pointing their cameras at the same thing, I don't trust it. I don't care what it is. Like I was saying, impeach him, go get him. I don't care. It's he's a distraction anyway. I don't suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. I don't. I'm not terrified of Trump. You got to do better than that for me. You're not Donald Trump. That okay? That's good. I'm glad you're not Donald Trump. But what else you got? You got something else? Like most of these people, all they want to talk about is they're not Donald Trump. Well, so what? I don't. What does that matter? I want real change. We want real progress. We're not looking for half measures. And it's not enough to not be Donald Trump. That's what they want. Is they want you so afraid of Donald Trump that you'll leave logic behind. You won't think. You'll just vote out of fear. That's what they want. They want you to give up on what you want. It's not that people don't want these things. Their job is to convince you that you can't have them. So we got to fight them. That's all. And just be persistent. Keep pushing forward. I always ask that you pick something. Whatever you're going to do in this fight, pick something and then do it every day. Whether you feel like it or not, commit that every day I do this, whatever that is, and then do it every day, every single day, no matter what, whether you feel like it or not. If you have the discipline to keep doing that, then with our momentum, we will grow to the point where we're unstoppable. There are millions of people, over 3 million. I can't wait till I get to start saying 4, and I will. But over 3 million volunteers to this campaign, to this revolution, to this fight, signed up and volunteering. 4 million individual contributions so far. Fastest campaign in history to ever reach that mark. This is happening right now. Ginger says, did you watch the Abby Martin debate coverage? I missed it. Why is it only free for so long? Why was it only out for so long? No, right after the burn yesterday, we had some things happen here at the house, and I got caught up for a couple hours. And then I was so tired when we got back from that because there was some drama. We had to go out and do some things, and it'd be too much to get into right now. But we got home, it was late, then I had to work today. I missed it. And what is the reason for that? Is it because they charge for their regular feed? I don't know how that works. Or is it just like patron only? Like, cause like on Patreon, you can do things that are only for the patrons. But I don't understand most of that, and I'm still new to the Patreon thing. So Ginger said, haven't heard that. Heard over 1 million with 4 million donors. Did I say it wrong? I might have said it wrong. Did I say unique donor? No. It's 4 million contributions, donations, not individual donors. Individual donors is in the ballpark of a million. We passed a million recently, and so it'd be above a million. But individual people, like giving money, but a million people have given 4 million times, is what I meant to say. Is what I'm trying to say. Steve says there's a lot of energy here in California for Bernie. If he can take California, he can win. We need to eliminate if from our vocabulary. When he takes California, he will win. We have to do this. We're going to do this. Believe it. To your core, believe it. Know that we have to do it. We're going to do it. Commit to doing everything that it's going to take to do it, and we will do it. But we will have to pry this from their hands. They will go down kicking and screaming. But this one was up last I looked. Oh, well, I believed you. I'll look right after the video then. Their videos are public though. Oh, I took your word for it that if I didn't watch it in a few hours, it would be over, so I didn't even try. I was, I thought it was like a time thing. I don't know. I'm so naive sometimes, like surprisingly naive. So I believed you. I thought if I didn't watch it within a few hours, that the opportunity was gone. So I watched all kinds of garbage recaps. When I could have watched a good one, I should have messaged you. I had that opportunity. I have a computer I carry in my pocket, and I forget that I'm a cyborg sometimes, and I could just message you. Patreon only after that. Let me ask you, maybe you know, because you follow someone that does it, is that a good idea to do that? Because I am trying to grow and be a professional live streamer, and I have a Patreon for my supporters to support the show through. And I've noticed that you can do patron only feeds, but I didn't know if that's something that's good to do. It sounds like it is. Ray said I lost you. You're back. Sorry. I don't know. I'm seeing it's freezing. We're having freezing problems, but hopefully the audio's solid. We're just continuing through and pushing through it. I'm trying to fix technical difficulties and things and get a little better, and I want to make little tweaks, like I want to get the camera pushed out further so that we don't have that problem. That problem right there, where when I'm not looking at the studio, I don't notice that my head is being chopped off, but like I'm trying to escape the television. But let's see. Go ahead and comment anything at all you guys want to talk about. I've noticed Nissa's in the watch party. Maybe they tried to cover up Epstein. Who? The establishment, the media? Oh, they maybe. They absolutely tried to cover up Epstein. And there's a lot of dark things going on in the world. Evil has took hold of this world. I try not to get too deep into that because this isn't the conspiracy theory show, but it's not a conspiracy. Evil has taken hold of this world. We're in a greedy, evil existence. We need to do everything we can to end that and to fight back against it. And that's what's happening right now. So be a part of it and fight in this fight. Join up with us if you're not already fighting with us. But if you're in this fight, you got to commit to it 100%. You got to own it and know that it's going to take us doing everything that we can to drive it forward and to win. Oh, by the impeachment. Cover up Epstein with the impeachment? Could be. It's a diversion. They know that we're coming for them. You know, they know that to us, it's not about Trump. It's about so much more than Donald Trump. We're coming for them. We're coming for our country. We're coming to stop them, to end their little party. And they're terrified. They're doing everything they can to stop us. And they will continue to do everything they can to stop us. That will not change. Steve says Jimmy Dore does that on Chatterday. You have to be a member to watch after it's live. I might do that. I don't know. I'll think about it. I need to figure out Patreon because I don't fully understand it really. I just know that it's good site to use for crowdfunding, and that's the way I want to support my shows. I don't want to have advertisers and things like that, or depend on that. I want to depend on the audience. I'm making these shows for you guys, so that's the way I want to do it. I want you to be my boss. Steve says there are videos on YouTube that tell you how to grow your channel. I've watched a bunch of them. Maybe you've seen a better one, but the ones that I've watched, I've done all that stuff. I've done a lot of stuff. I even have some things I paid for But no, we have not hit 1,000 yet. We are at 920. So I want to hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel before December 10th. And the YouTube channel is Me on Things and Stuff. Go there and subscribe and help me get to 1,000. Not that that's going to save the channel, but it could. One of the things they're saying they'll pull channels for is being less than 1,000 subscribers. So Ray says George W. Bush said that we have to keep catapulting the propaganda so people will believe it. You tell a lie, the bigger the better, and you tell it over and over again, and people will start to accept it as the truth. This is a fact. It's the way it works. And they've mastered it. Steve says Biden says keep punching and punching against domestic violence. Biden is ridiculous. The fact that they're still trying to say Biden's the front runner, that's hilarious. They tell a lie, no matter how big, the bigger the better, and tell it over and over and over and over again. And people will start to believe it. That's what they do. That's the way it works. And they're very good at it. They're tremendous at it. But we can beat them. We are beating them. So just keep doing all that you can. And keep moving forward and doing all you can in this fight. And we will win. But thanks for watching, guys. This is the Daily Bern. We do this every day, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. I realized today that I have my Be Live toy for one more day. I still have it today. I kind of want to play with it again, but I don't know what I would do. I want to do a feed that we could just get out and see how big we could get it, but I don't know. I don't know what we would talk about. I'm only pretty well versed in a few topics, but it would be fun to play with the toy one more time. But I want to get at interactions, and more people talking and play with it. Really get into it. I'd like to have. There was somebody that was going to do an interview with me, and they never came. They never lined up. It never worked out. But I would have liked to have done that. And if you're watching, Jay, get in touch with me, and we'll do it. Because I want to play with it. Steve says we'll have to invite our friends to subscribe to your show. Yes, please do that. Subscribe. It's not very popular on YouTube. We're not. This is the most likes I think we've ever got on a burn on YouTube. We're at 2 likes now. So it's not caught on very well on YouTube. And I would like to see it grow on YouTube as well. So that would be good. Yeah, subscribe to Me on Things and Stuff. That's my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. But thanks, guys, for watching. And Steve says, what's with that dude's eyes? Schiff, is he a demon? He's a creepy looking dude. He is super creepy. You're not wrong. He is really creepy looking dude. But thanks for watching, guys, and join Bernie or Vest. Bernie or Vest is a Facebook group, and we partnered up with them this whole week because I want you to go over there and join that group. And I want you to commit to that movement. I want us to understand that we got to do everything that we can. We have to see this all the way through to the end. And that's going to take us physically being there. And then committing to move forward and win this and do all we can to make sure that we win. That's going to take us committing. That's what Bernie or Vest is about. So join that group and hang out with me there. I'm a member of that group. But come back on Monday for another episode of the Daily Bern and watch my timeline. I'm thinking of doing something tonight, playing with that toy again. I don't know if I am or not. Depends on if anybody wants to see it, if there's any interest in it. We used to do Yankee rants on Fridays, and I could definitely do a rant. So if you guys want to see something, we'll play with the toy. We'll get the toy out one more time. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you Monday for the next episode of the Daily Bern. Keep fighting out there. Do all you can, and we're gonna win. Own that. Believe it. 'Cause it's a fact. Thanks for watching, guys. See you Monday for the next Daily Bern.